Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Western New York High School Football Weekly. Tom Prince, Frank Wolf, Tim Gardner producing. We got Mario Hall here and Heidi Gunther here somewhere in the building. We're not in studio today. You could tell that we are at Wingnuts Buffalo by the airport. Yes, Wingnuts of Buffalo. We've already had half a dozen wings. Who am I lying? I had at least a dozen wings so far. But we've got some special guests in the restaurant with us tonight. Throughout the show, you're going to hear from Brady Waring, Eden North Collins quarterback. I believe we have Justice Kleitz as well from Iroquois, now known as, what are they now called, the Red Hawks?
Yes.
Red Hawks. Is that one, do we figure out, was that one word or two word? 2 words, right? It is 2 words?
That I don't know. I'm not going to.
We'll have to ask. We got to ask our quarterback back.
There
He's
he
back
is.
there somewhere.
1 word or 2 words?
One word. Red Hawks is just 1 word. We also have players from St. Joe's and Canisius because it is the biggest rivalry in Western New York high school football, bar none. It's Canisius and St. Joe's. It is the biggest rivalry in Western New York, and it gets going again this Saturday at Stransky Field. We'll be there, and it should be an absolute battle.
Listen, we saw last year. We really thought last year was the big turnaround that we've seen St. Joe's happen, and they've got another team that's ready to make a run. These 2 teams, and then add St. Francis into the mix, this 3 is going to be fun to watch what happens with their games, including the playoffs.
So people are starting to file in here at Wingnuts. The restaurant's full. It's like $1 a wing tonight. Yeah, $1 wing at Wingnuts. That's a great deal, I guess, in Western New York. But for Wingnuts,
Well, seeing the parking lot where you had to park out there, I understand why.
did you park? which parking lot at the terminal?
All the way on the other side of the hotel area.
Buffalo Airport Terminal 3 over here. Long-term parking is where he had to go. We had a very good week of high school football. We had, I believe, at least 1 record was broken. The young man's here with us. Some of these games that we did, I just had to do a double take. You did Southwestern, Portville. Southwestern, just Braden Fuller. What can you say? Zach Markham. These guys were.
That kid's special. That kid is something special, folks. If you haven't seen one of the games, this kid was all over the map out there. He really was something fun to watch.
So they did a number on Portville 2 weeks in a row. Portville had big losses. Not just like a score here or there. They got beat bad 2 weeks in a row. So hopefully those guys can start making a comeback and get things to go. I think they're a little banged up. The other game, Tom, Health Sciences, Grand Island. We had those 2 teams in studio last week.
Yes.
Believe it or not, I know the score said like 28-0, 26-0, somewhere in there. That was a very good game. Both defenses played tremendous. I thought Health was just a step ahead of Grand Island on Friday night. The running game was electric, and they just they came away with a big win. It was a lot closer than that score would appear, but I have a feeling there's a good chance those teams may meet up again before it's all said and done. Grand Island beat Health Sciences last year, so Health Science was looking at that one, and that's kind of a make-up game for them. They wanted to get back at Grand Island. They did on Friday night. His game at Buff State. Stu was on the call. Great weather for that one.
It was great weather the whole weekend. It really was. There wasn't a bad weather game.
No, we haven't had one yet, thank God. The one that really surprised me more than anything was this Wilson-Gowanda game. I was expecting that to be a shootout from front to back. It was anything but. Wilson got ahead of Gowanda real early in that one, and they beat him up pretty bad, especially early. Gowanda had no chance of getting back in that game. They were playing catch-up. I want to say Capozzi even got a little banged up in that one, might have had to leave at one point. But Wilson is for real in Class D. I think we were kind of a little hesitant to talk about them in this way because we knew they were low on numbers. They didn't have the depth. But the guys that Wilson does have on the field puts them in maybe the top spot in D, if not number 1, number 2. But they're a team that's going to be, you're going to have to reckon with. That game against Newfane at the end of the year is going to be a heavyweight matchup. I think we thought that anyways. But the way that they handled Gowanda last week, and I know they're down. I know there's a kid there that's out for the year, which leaves a huge hole for them. But still, Wilson, to go into Gowanda, a game that was going to be hyped up as much as it was for that Class D battle, Wilson came out with flying colors.
No doubt about that. And they've got some great athletes, like you've said, that we could talk about. From wide receiver to running back to defense that we've now seen, they've stepped up on multiple spots right here. This team is going to be someone we're absolutely talking about. And then we also don't want to count out Randolph because they're going to be into the mix in this as well. I put those three teams
They're 3-0, but I don't know what their schedule really amounts to so far.
But again, obviously they've got themselves
we're going
in
to
the
find out.
conversation. Yeah.
At 3-0, you can't argue that, but they've got, I believe, Salamanca this week, or who they got this week? Randolph's got Newfane, is it not?
Well, that's the matchup that
we're going to find out.
Right?
We're going to find out a lot about Randolph this weekend. The other game was the one you did on Saturday, St. Francis and Catholic Memorial. Now, we know about Catholic Memorial, and it's not like the first time they played. They've played for a number of years, these two teams. The programs know each other well. But St. Francis hung in with them for a half, and I think there were people out there saying they're not going to hang in with these guys. Catholic Memorial's coming in. They're going to put 20, 30 points up in the first half, and then maybe they put another 15 up in the second half. But no, they were strong all game. But Franny's hung in with them. It was a game and a half.
It was match for match is what it was. And I'll tell you exactly what you said. The biggest difference that you can look at between the two teams, no doubt, was line play. The line for Catholic Memorial, in some cases, would look like twice the size of what St. Francis had. And that's why they were able to run the ball and be so effective on offense, especially in the second half, when you know guys are going to get tired out there on the field. But I'm ready to make a pretty bold statement. One of the top quarterbacks in Western New York is sitting over at St. Francis. What else is that good? And watch what he did against this defense, especially the way he moved the ball, was something very, very interesting to watch.
Yeah, the one play that's being shown over and over again was just athleticism personified. That's what you look for in a quarterback. And if you're playing a team like Mem, you have to be multidimensional. I mean, if they're going to take your running away, your running backs out of the game, which I don't think they did. If you're going to take the passing game away, what else can the quarterback do to make up for an area that needs to maybe lift them up?
Yeah.
And the plays he made with his feet, some of the best plays you've seen in West New York in a long time. The young man from Gowanda who's hurt for the season is Cameron Slade. I want to make sure that we send him our well wishes, Cameron. We hope you get better. I know that you're out for the year. It sucks, your senior year, to be missing out due to this injury. So thinking about you, buddy, and hopefully at some point you get back, and whether it's another sport you play. But I know that we're all thinking about you, buddy. So it sucks for Cameron Slade, and there's a number of seniors that are missing their senior year because of an injury.
We went over some of those last week.
Yeah. So looking out for you, Cameron. Best of luck to you. And there's still a football player there. The kid's made the state list last year for a small school. I think Class D. He was like Defensive Player of the Year, or not Defensive Player of the Year, but you were first team. So you got a phenomenal football player that can definitely play at the next level if he wants to. So just because you're not going to be able to play your senior year, don't give up. Keep battling, and you'll get back on the field next year. Maybe it's at Hilbert or Alfred State or something. So a lot of football left in the kids' legs. Some of our sponsors for today, I think I forgot to mention them at the top of the hour. I probably should be fired. Damon University, Richmond Vona, LP Buffalo, Logistics Plus of Buffalo, G&G Fitness, Wingnuts Buffalo, where we are right now, eating all their wings, and then SUNY Cortland. Thank you very much to our advertisers that make this show possible. And I want to take a quick commercial break, but I want to come back in a couple minutes, try some more of these wings. If you're not at Wingnuts by the airport tonight, I don't know why you wouldn't be. $1 a wing tonight. Get your butts in here and get some of the best wings in Western New York. We'll be back after a word from our sponsors. You're watching Western New York High School Football Weekly.
At Richmond Vona, we are seriously dedicated to bettering the communities that we serve. You will get super high level communication, and you are getting a team of dedicated attorneys, paralegals. If you put your trust in us and hire us, we promise to take care of everything. Call us as soon as possible so we can start the investigation to fight to get you the settlement you deserve.
Wingnuts. You still got to go.
Have you guys tried Room 40 yet?
Looking for the perfect spot to throw your next party? Say hello to Room 40, our private event space at both Wingnuts locations. Maybe you got a birthday, a graduation, anniversary, business event, rehearsal dinner, or even a sports banquet. From intimate get-togethers to rowdy celebrations, Room 40 is built to handle it all and fits up to 60 guests. With custom food and drink packages, flexible setups, legendary Wingnuts hospitality, and all the wings you can handle. If you're planning a celebration or get-together in Buffalo, this is where the party's at. Local vibes, zero stress, all fun. Book Room 40 today and throw a party Buffalo won't forget. Hit the link in our bio or visit wingnutsbuffalo.com/room40 to book now.
All right, well, we'll get
I'll go
Wingnuts.
if you go to Wingnuts.
Deal.
Why do you exercise? To look better? To feel better? To drop a few pounds? To train for an event? To defy age? Or to keep your ability to say yes to the things you love to do? Whatever motivates you, G&G Fitness Equipment is here to get you there. Treadmills, ellipticals, rowers, bikes, home gyms, and accessories. We'll pair you with the right equipment, teach you how to use it, and be there every step of your fitness journey. G&G Fitness. Your goal is our goal.
I'm George Wiley, a senior at Canisius High School. As the only Jesuit high school in Western New York, Canisius delivers a life-changing education. Canisius prepares young men for acceptance into the nation's finest universities, and our community supports us at each step of our journey. We are proud of our excellent athletics and our emphasis on service. This place is special. Let us show you why.
Experience firsthand the excellence of Canisius High School. Schedule your visit at canisiushigh.org.
Logistics Plus is a global transportation provider headquartered in Erie, PA, with locations worldwide, including right here in Western New York. Logistics Plus is consistently recognized as a fast-growing transportation and logistics company, great supply chain partner, top freight broker, leading project cargo manager, and a great place to work. With a strong passion for excellence, our 500-plus employees put the plus in logistics.
Or an efficient personal approach for all of your transportation needs. More information about our Buffalo office is available at logisticsplus.com/Buffalo.
Welcome back to Western New York Athletics High School Football Weekly. Frank Wolf, Tom Prince. We're doing our show at Wingnuts tonight, home of the Dollar Wing. On Wednesdays, anyways, it's a Dollar Wing. We're talking high school football like we normally do on Wednesday. The room's starting to fill up a little bit with some of our guests. Again, we have Brady Waring from Eden North Collins. He's coming up after our next break. Tom is going to interview Mr. Waring. He's having a hell of a season. Still can't believe he threw 9 touchdowns in one game. I don't know who was playing defense that day for either team because Tapestry scored a ton of points too.
63-62.
Yeah.
But if you remember on the show, we said, remember, 50-49
yeah.
was the score we were even talking about, so we knew it was going to be a shootout.
Yeah. We also have Justice Kleitz is here from Iroquois, who's setting records left and right. I think he's got 5 touchdowns to reach Joe Licata's number. Joe's at like 78, and he's at 72 or something. Something ridiculous. Something that not too many people could ever say that had that many touchdowns. But either way, we're going to bring him in there. Of course, we've got kids from Canisius. And we're going to have a lot of fun with those guys, talking to them in just a little bit. But anyways, we want to talk about the Connolly Cup Players of the Week. And those guys, that list is as follows. Peyton Bradley from Salamanca, the quarterback there, had a great day against CSP, 179 yards and scored 3 touchdowns. Had a couple of tackles, forced a fumble. DJ Banker, the quarterback from West Seneca East, had another outstanding day for Trojans. Kind of looks a little bit like Dolan a little bit at times on the offensive side, right? I mean, he runs, he throws. Does a little bit of it all. Zach Bridenbacher, I'm surprised it took this long for that kid to get on the list, but there he is, 189 yards, a touchdown. He had a great day for Depew and their win down at Olean, which is never an easy place to play. This young quarterback, A.J. Cinquino from North Tonawanda, a junior, 13 of 15 passing, 196 yards, 2 touchdowns. And I think he rushed for 3 scores. Anyways, incredible day for that young man. 5 touchdowns for North Tonawanda, the Lumberjacks, who I believe are 2-1 on the season. Luis Diaz from Jamestown, a linebacker. It's not often you get a defensive-only player on there, but Diaz gets it done, 8 tackles, 3 assists. He had the 33-yard pick six. It was a pick six in the final one of the final plays of the night there. So he did a great job. Diaz from Jamestown. Colton Fletcher from Medina also made the list, 149 yards, 3 touchdowns. Great day for him. Christian Fulgham. Bishop Timon. I gotta believe he has a brother that played for South Park. I can't remember the kid's first name, but that has to be his brother. Wide receiver, 5 tackles on defense, tackle for loss, 112 yards, 6 catches, and 3 touchdowns. Yeah, hell of a day for Fulgham. Philip Ganji out of Will South had a pretty good day, 4 touchdowns, 19 to 28, 233. Josh Guerin from Cardinal O'Hara. It's rare you get a kid from O'Hara on this list, so good for him. Getting recognized, played a Section 5 team. Nonetheless, he makes the list with 3 touchdowns. And he also had a rushing touchdown, by the way. Trent Hauser, Chautauqua Lake, Westfield, just a beast all over the field for the Eagles. Justice Kleitz, who's here tonight, 20 of 29, 315 yards, 4 touchdowns. That's enough for recognition itself. But he also became Western New York's record holder with 7,700 career passing yards. Or that's the record he broke, anyways. He broke Jerry Hicks in St. Francis, 76-10. He's at 7,700 plus. Zach Markham, the kid that you were telling us about, the Southwestern Frewsburg kid who had a hell of a day, was just everywhere on the field, just terrorizing. I think he's only a junior, right?
That's what blew my mind more than anything. Was I thought he was a senior, but this kid is
his brother
junior.
Roger is. He's the one that's getting all the publicity. But Zach Markham obviously had a hell of a day.
I don't know how he's not getting the publicity. I got to be honest with you.
No one's seen him. Now they did. So that's how. Amari Ridgway, Health Sciences, learned a little bit more about him last Wednesday when we did the show. He had a great day for Health Sciences, all over the field, just like Markham. And then, of course, Michael Taylor, Niagara Falls, makes the list. He didn't have his best statistical day, but I think that's kind of a makeup from last week when he should have been on it.
I understand.
But he had still a pretty good day. 70 yards, scored 2 touchdowns rushing, and I think he threw for a touchdown. 191 yards through the air, so Michael Taylor gets on the list for Niagara Falls. Why don't you tell us about the Trench Trophy, guys?
So our Trench Trophy starts out from Barker Royhart Bulls. It's Betty Hess. From Williamsville North, it's Josh Newman. From Health Sciences, it's Quincy Patterson Jr. From the Salamanca Warriors, it's Evan Spruce Jr. From Jamestown Red and Green, Isaiah Watson. And from St. Francis, it's Will Workotter.
Yeah, Willie Workotter. Can you imagine if he was in a Wilson uniform? How good. That's where he's from.
Yeah? No, but he had a great game, though. Yeah. We called his name multiple times as well.
Anybody that you can think of that you might have seen that's not on this list that we should recognize? I mean, we know the day that Buttles had. I thought Cook had a pretty decent day, too, though, for St. Franny's.
Oh, he absolutely did. Yeah,
Okay.
And he fought for a lot of his yards. There was no doubt about it.
Yeah.
And you're going against, like we talked about, a line that was much bigger than what your line was.
Yeah.
I thought they both had great games. They really did. And that's the reason why that game was so close at halftime. The other kid that did not get the recognition he should have from Southwestern Frewsburg is George Marshall. Because 2 of the things that happened where you saw balls that were run back were sacks by him that caused everything to be able to happen out there. He was the one that had 2 major sacks.
So before we go to commercial break, had to tell you, unfortunately, Springville had to forfeit their game this week. Numbers being cited there as well. I don't know what's going on. There's
Last week I heard there was multiple injuries in that game.
Yeah.
That came from last week's injuries.
That's our second forfeit. And I wonder if that has anything to do with programs not having JV. You know, you can't pull these kids up.
Yeah.
You can't bring a kid from modified up to play varsity.
No.
So, you know, tough going there, I think, for Springville. I know they did really well at the modified level for a while, but that's just not translating to the varsity field. So, got some work to do there in Springville to get them back to where they were. This was a power at one time, and to see them forfeit a game, when I saw the message come in, not Springville. I mean, this is, you know, this was a team that was at the stadium year after year. So a lot of that going on. It's not just them. Silver Creek was 2 years ago, or 2 weeks ago. Silver Creek had to forfeit a game. Was that Medina or who didn't get the game against Silver Creek? Chautauqua Lake, maybe. I don't know who it was, but a really good team had to miss. No, it was Gowanda, and maybe that's why they came out so flat against Wilson. So, anyways,
Games in, a week off of games when you only have an 8-week season, it's tough.
Yeah.
It is tough that you're asking your kids to take that break and you're going 2 straight weeks of practice of nothing there. That's hard on a player.
Yeah. All right, so we're going to take a quick commercial break. When we come back, Tom Prince is going to have the kid from Eden, North Carolina, Brady Waring, with him. We're going to have some fun with him, and you can interview him, and we'll see how much he likes chicken wings. We'll be back after a word from our sponsors. You're watching West New York High School Football Weekly from Wingnuts Airport location in Buffalo.
At Richmond Vona, we are seriously dedicated to bettering the communities that we serve. If you put your trust in us and hire us, we promise to take care of everything. Call us as soon as possible so we can start the investigation to fight to get you the settlement you deserve.
Why do you exercise? To look better? To feel better? To drop a few pounds? To train for an event? To defy age? Or to keep your ability to say yes to the things you love to do? Whatever motivates you, G&G Fitness Equipment is here to get you there. Treadmills, ellipticals, rowers, bikes, home gyms, and accessories. We'll pair you with the right equipment, teach you how to use it, and be there every step of your fitness journey. G&G Fitness. Your goal is our goal.
Wingnuts. You still got to go.
Have you guys tried Room 40 yet?
Looking for the perfect spot to throw your next party? Say hello to Room 40, our private event space at both Wingnuts locations. Maybe you got a birthday, a graduation, anniversary, business event, rehearsal dinner, or even a sports banquet. From intimate get-togethers to rowdy celebrations, Room 40 is built to handle it all and fits up to 60 guests, with custom food and drink packages, flexible setups, legendary Wingnuts hospitality, and all the wings you can handle. If you're planning a celebration or get-together in Buffalo, this is where the party's at. Local vibes, zero stress, all fun. Book Room 40 today and throw a party Buffalo won't forget. Hit the link in our bio or visit wingnutsbuffalo.com/room40 to book now.
All right, well, we'll get
I'll go if you go to Wingnuts.
Deal.
I'm excited to be here, right here with Brady Waring from Eden, North Collins. We're going to kick things right off. 9 touchdowns. You couldn't even have thought that was going to happen.
No, it's honestly just a crazy night, and never would have ever thought that many touchdowns would be scored. And, even having the other team putting up 62 points against us, just crazy offensive night for both sides of the ball.
When did you know, though, this is a special night? Like, when did it go, oh, something special's happening in this game?
At the end of the half, it was only 26-16, which is still pretty high scoring, but once it got into that third quarter, it was just back and forth, and there was honestly no defense being played. The drives were 3-4 plays, and that's once I threw my 7th touchdown, I was like, it was only the third quarter, and just knew something was gonna be crazy that night.
Did you know the record? Like, did you know that the record was possibly out there? This is something that you could get?
Well, I knew my personal record was 6 in a game, but I did not know that 8 was the New York State record. It was only until after the game that someone was like, "Oh, I think the record was 8, and you had 9," and I was like, it didn't even hit me until hours after the game that could have been a potential record.
Awesome. Let's talk about your coach for a second. You got a coach that's really taken over the program last year and really changed the culture of that team over there. I want you to talk about your coach and what he's done differently, what you've seen over there as a team.
He takes control of the team and he really pushes and motivates guys. Like we started even all the way back in December in the weight room, holding indoor sessions, just trying to get our timing down for our offense. And it really helps that he has so much trust in me and my receivers and just the offense in general, just to go out there and make plays. Like anything, he doesn't hold back, and he puts basically the game in my hands a lot of the time. And I really am thankful for have a coach who has that much trust in my ability out there.
So you got a big game coming up this week. And this team already took down one of the top teams that we've seen in Western New York. So what has to happen for you guys to get a victory inside this game?
It's got to be the defense. I mean, we really do struggle against the run a lot of times. It's just the truth. And, we need a big day out of those guys, the D-line, the linebackers, just make tackles and hold them to stops, and so the offense get back on the field. And as an offense, we need to be very efficient, and we need to score points every chance we get.
Listen, I know you've had something special, but you got a couple special receivers that you can throw to out there. I want you to talk about those receivers and why they've been so pivotal to your success.
Isaiah and Silas, especially, they're the best athletes on the field almost in pretty much every game we play. And, I've been playing with them since I was 6 years old, and the connection we've built over the time, the trust we have, chemistry we have, it's just being put together. And this year it's just fully exploding. And I trust them to make every play, and every time I throw the ball up, I believe they're going to come down with it.
Let's talk about you and how you've advanced. You were a young player on this team, as you remember when you started things. You had to grow yourself. How have you grown year after year to get to the point where you are right now?
I feel like I've always had the athletic ability to keep play alive and give my receivers a chance to make a play downfield. But this year it's really seeing what the defense is giving you, not just bailing on the play, stepping up into the pocket, giving them more time in different ways, and keeping my eyes down the field and able to extend the play so they can have a shot to make a play.
The C division is loaded, and especially in the South, that you're going to be able to see. Talk about this division and really what you see as far as this division when you're looking at it as a whole. What do you see about the other teams out there?
Well, last year we played in the South, and it was really tough down there. Every game was just an absolute dogfight. They got some big boys, and they're looking good down there. But as far as the North, next 2 weeks we got Roy Hart and Medina. Those are some of the top teams in our division. They got some good athletes and some strong players, and they're going to be 2 good games, and it's going to really the division's really going to come down in the next 2 weeks, I feel like.
So let's go back to this 9 touchdown thing. You've gotten a lot of accolades. You know that. You've talked about it. You've heard your name now. How many times, even when somebody talks about anything that comes to Eden football, how does it make you feel?
It makes me feel great that, just as the team in general, my name being out there is getting just our team out there. Everyone really overlooked us last year, and we weren't very good last year. But, this year is different, and I'm glad to see myself get some recognition. And then just as my receivers are getting the recognition now, and coach is getting recognition, just the whole team, the whole program is getting some recognition after that game.
I think we're going to do something fun right now. So we're going to actually put a blindfold on you right now, and I'm going to pick out a wing here, and you're going to need to tell me what kind of wing that it is. So let's see what we got here. There you go. So he's going to tell me what kind of wing it is. It's a what?
Barbecue.
So it's actually, so I gave you a little bit of a tougher one. I'm not going to lie to you. This is the Wing Nuts signature wing right there is what it is. So how does it taste though?
It's pretty good.
There you go. Because that's one of the ones we wanted to make sure that we actually talked about since we are at Wing Nuts Buffalo. You could take off that. Here, let me grab it for you. So, but listen, just something a little fun here. And again, folks, if you don't get a chance, get down here to Wing Nuts Buffalo because they really, it's a great night. You see, the wings are fantastic. Dollar wings. You got an opportunity, an incredible environment right here. TVs all over the place you could really enjoy. Or really what you could do is come down and enjoy the Western New York Athletics crew right now, talking high school football. So we're going to take a quick break right here. Let's take a quick break, and we're going to come back for our next interview here right after the break.
Why do you exercise? To look better? To feel better? To drop a few pounds? To train for an event? To defy age? Or to keep your ability to say yes to the things you love to do? Whatever motivates you, G&G Fitness Equipment is here to get you there. Treadmills, ellipticals, rowers, bikes, home gyms, and accessories. We'll pair you with the right equipment, teach you how to use it, and be there every step of your fitness journey. G&G Fitness. Your goal is our goal.
At Richmond Vona, we are seriously dedicated to bettering the communities that we serve. You will get super high level communication, and you are getting a team of dedicated attorneys, paralegals. If you put your trust in us and hire us, we promise to take care of everything. Call us as soon as possible so we can start the investigation to fight to get you the settlement you deserve.
Welcome back to Wingnuts Airport location in Buffalo. Frank Wolf, and now I'm joined with Justice Kleitz, quarterback of Iroquois. 4-year starter?
Yes, 4 years.
Okay, so when I first talked to your coach 4 years ago about you, obviously you had this enormous shadow you had to step out of, right? Your older brother, Trey, who was just legit. Phenomenal athlete in every way, shape, and form. But he told me that day, and I don't know if he ever told you this, and I know he's not going to be happy that I tell you this. Is he here? Just kidding. Coach Pazanka told me that when you went up to the dry erase board as a freshman, you were seeing things and drawing things that nobody else had ever done at an age that young before. What was it? Was it just having that older brother show you? Did you learn from him, or is that why you were so in tune with what was going on in the field?
Yeah, definitely having Trey as a quarterback and being able to see him from freshman year, sophomore year, junior year, senior year being the quarterback definitely helped. And how good he was. He definitely taught me a lot. But 8th grade year, I would go down to my coach's room in middle school probably, I'd say 3 or 4 times a week, and he's just going through film, old film. He's going through formations, plays, and he's just drilling it into my mind pretty much every day in my middle school day, just preparing me because he knows once you lose Trey, that's a huge gap to fill. So Yeah, every day, probably in 8th grade, I was going down to his room and just preparing my mind. And when I got there freshman year, it was just kind of engraved. And I wasn't the best, but I had a great team around me freshman year, and then kind of till now, senior year, it's just stuck with me.
And right now, according to my records, you are at 82 total touchdowns. The career record in Western New York, set by Joe Licata, Will South, is at 87. So you're chipping away at that.
Yeah, yeah. I didn't even know that. I didn't even know that was a record I was close to. And going into this game Saturday, honestly, it's not about that for me. It's a big game against Lackawanna. So preparing this week, it's not about the record. It's going to be about beating this Lackawanna team. It's going to be big for the division. So.
Yeah, I mean, and things have gone Lackawanna's way the last couple of years. You guys are a B school. One time you guys were an A school, but you're a B school. Last year, probably didn't finish the way you guys want. I think you had some injuries you had to deal with. How much has this team improved from 2024 to now?
I think we've improved a lot. We're definitely closer this year as a team. I think we're all friends on the team, and I think we took the offseason a little bit more serious this year. A lot more guys in the weight room, OTAs on Saturdays, passing leagues we're winning. So I think we also had a tougher schedule last year, but I think coming in this year we're closer, taking this season a little more serious as the seniors. We have 17 of them, and we don't want to go back to the Funky Bowl. We want to make a deep run in the playoffs. So.
Yeah, where do you think your team improved the most though in the offseason? The specific side of the ball, or just maybe a different mindset? Where have you guys improved the most?
I think leadership. I think we have a ton of leaders on the team. I think all 11 guys on defense and offense can lead the team. That's not just my coach's voice or coach's voice. It's the team's voice that are leading us in practice. In the first week, we did not have a good practice leading into Grand Island, and I think we were full of ourselves. And we came back the next week, we humbled ourselves, and I think us 4 captains, we really took control of it and just changed it around and had 2 good back-to-back games.
You got another tough one this week. I mean, Lackawanna's definitely no joke. They're a team that probably should have also been at Highmark last year. You guys are a team that probably could have been there as well, but Lackawanna, definitely people were talking about getting there. So, it's definitely going to be a tough matchup. Even though they don't have Tyrone Clark in the backfield, it's still a team you gotta worry about. Long term, I mean, the focus. This is the last year that a Section 6 team will have a chance to play at Highmark Stadium. I'm sure as a senior, you'd love to be there at the end of the year. Talk about the goals of this team.
Yeah, I mean, the goal from January lifting was just getting back to that stadium. I know freshman year we won the section, and last 2 years did not make playoffs or lost first round of playoffs. So my last football year as a senior. So I'm going to do whatever I can. I know my team's going to do whatever they can to get back to that stadium because that's something special, and that's something that lasts stays with you for a very long time.
Got to ask you about your weapon out front, and then we're going to have you try one of these wings. But talk to us and introduce Western New York, if they don't know who he is, Nick Skutnik, and what he brings to your team in the Arsenal. And mention another couple players, if you can, for us that you really look for on the field as a second and third read.
Well, I mean, Nick Skutnik is a dog. I would say maybe biased, but I think he is the best receiver in Western New York. He's proved that the last year and continued the last 3 games. He's been phenomenal. I get all the praise and whatever, but he makes me look better than I am at times. I throw 1-yard route to him, and he's going 60 yards. He does more than just catch. He's blocking. He's working as hard as he can in practice. He's doing everything he can for us to win. Yeah, he's phenomenal. I love having him. And you got guys like TJ Domino, who's a senior captain, tight end. He's Mr. Reliable. I throw it to him. Big body. He's gonna catch it. I trust him. You got O-line, who a lot of praise goes to them. They worked really hard in the offseason and improved a ton, giving me time in the backfield to go through my progressions and reads. I didn't have a ton of that time last year, and they've really improved. So very happy with O-line, Skutnik, TJ, all the receivers I trust and I think are very phenomenal for our team.
All right, so it's like this moment of truth now. We're going to give you a wing. I need you to blindfold yourself with this, and we're going to bring you a wing here. Once you're blindfolded, we'll have you try one of these awesome wings from Wingnuts. Only $1 tonight. Although I don't think it applies to the flight of wings. I was told they're a little bit more expensive. But you're worth it. You're worth it to try. So let's try and find you something. And you tell me what this is. Take a couple of bites of that. I got a couple of napkins in case you make a mess. See what you got. I actually forgot what wing I gave him just now. This is gonna be good. What do you think? What's your first choice? What do you think?
Well, it's definitely barbecue, for sure. I don't know if there's 2 options of barbecue. I'm gonna go original barbecue.
You are correct. There was original barbecue. This was upside down. Now it's not. Original barbecue it is. Here's some napkins for yourself. You're going to want to take that blindfold off sometime before your next game. You definitely don't want that blindfold on against Lackawanna. But this is Mr. Justice Kleitz, who was going to be the all-time leading passing leader in Western New York. Could tie another record in the next couple of weeks. And then who knows, maybe we'll see them at the stadium later in the year. Good luck to you the rest of the way. Stay healthy, and good luck to the Redhawks. All one word. Redhawks are one word, not 2 words. We'll be back after word from our sponsors. We're live at Wingnuts in Buffalo by the airport.
At Richmond Vona, we are seriously dedicated to bettering the communities that we serve. You will get super high level communication, and you are getting a team of dedicated attorneys, paralegals. If you put your trust in us and hire us, we promise to take care of everything. Call us as soon as possible so we can start the investigation to fight to get you the settlement you deserve.
Wingnuts. You still got to go.
Have you guys tried Room 40 yet?
Looking for the perfect spot to throw your next party? Say hello to Room 40, our private event space at both Wingnuts locations. Maybe got a birthday, a graduation, anniversary, business event, rehearsal dinner, or even a sports banquet. From intimate get-togethers to rowdy celebrations, Room 40 is built to handle it all and fits up to 60 guests, with custom food and drink packages, flexible setups, legendary Wingnuts hospitality, and all the wings you can handle. If you're planning a celebration or get-together in Buffalo, this is where the party's at. Local vibes, zero stress, all fun. Book Room 40 today and throw a party Buffalo won't forget. Hit the link in our bio or visit wingnutsbuffalo.com/room40 to book now.
All right, well,
I'll go if you go to Wingnuts.
Deal.
Just leave this sit here and put that on your collar.
Fancy, man. That's a fancy. Can't see what I'm doing. I got no glass.
Welcome back to Wingnuts downtown, or Wingnuts in Buffalo by the airport. Frank Wolf with Tom Prince of Western New York Athletics, and we've got 2 of the premier coaches in Western New York and the Monsignor Martin. Mike Corona to my right from St. Joe's, and Craig Krasansky to Tom's left of Canisius. Guys, no doubt the best rivalry in Western New York is St. Joe's versus Canisius. Year after year, more alumni come out for this game. And for a while it wasn't close. And then, it tips, it turns, right? There's years when Canisius have gone on a run, and then Joe's went on a run, and then it got out of hand for a little bit with Canisius just winning by a lot. Things started to change, though, last year. You guys really stepped up your game in your meeting on Kenmore Avenue. And this year, you guys have to go out to Stransky. There's a brand new field out there, too, yes?
Turf.
Brand new turf field. Coach Corona, you've been here since 2021?
2020. So when
2020,
COVID
yes.
kind of dropped and killed that season, that was my first year.
Okay. You spent a little bit of time at Sweet Home, though. 1 year, maybe?
20 years ago.
Okay.
So senior in college.
You know the area, and you knew that this rivalry was a pretty big one. But you kind of got to throw that out as a coach and just coach your team and get them prepared like it's any other game. How hard is that?
I mean, the attention placed in the game is usually from other adults. So like the kids are kids, and as you prepare them every week, you're trying to get them to figure out what is the things that matter. So when it comes to this, it is all the adults, the alumni who went here, or the people involved that kind of heap this on the kids. But it's a football game, and it's for kids, which is kind of, they need to remember that.
Your team this year, you got a very nice win last week against St. Andrews, a team that had beaten you a year prior. You had a pretty good showing out of Cardinal Hayes as well in week 1. Heading into this week against Canisius, where is your team, would you say, the mindset, health-wise, but then their confidence level?
Their health-wise were great. So we missed a couple starters last few games. We had some second-string linemen playing at St. Andrews and some backup safeties. Now everyone's back. And the guys who were young got some good reps that mattered. When you're talking about a practice week, it's just, is Tuesday better than Monday? Is Wednesday better than Tuesday? So that's really kind of where we're at. And they're doing a great job.
Is there anything different at all preparing this week from film room, Monday, whatever, all the way through, say, Friday? Anything different? You approach this game any different than you would have St. Andrews?
Me? No.
Yeah.
No, you figure out where they're good players and where their weaknesses, and those are the things you focus on.
Some of the players that have been standing out for you, obviously, Owen Kaczynski comes to mind pretty quick. He's done very well. Who are some of the other guys, and where are you most impressed with your team as of right now? Where's an area you're really impressed?
I would say for the first time, we don't have holes or depth issues kind of around the field. So we've got 5 offensive linemen. We're averaging about 295 across, and they can all run all day long. Defensive line is very similar. We've got 2 gigantic inside linebackers and 2 fast outside backers. I think the biggest change is we have 4 or 5 kids who can run 4 5s. So like now there's some speed in the field, kind of in the perimeter and the backfield on both sides. And we have 2 quarterbacks that can chuck it and run with it. So it's been really great to kind of have everybody compete every single week instead of kind of leaning on one player here or one player there. So it's made a much better practice environment.
Talk to us about the kid who had the pick 6. I think you had a guy who had a pick 6 last
Yeah, Stone. So
yes.
Stone's 6'3", he's 245. He's an AP honor student. He outran, it was a 90-yard pick he took from inside linebacker. He starts in all 3 phases. He's an Ivy League recruit. He's a captain. He's like a great kid. He hits like a truck, which is great for us.
Stone Rozak.
Yes, Stone Rozak.
What year is he?
He's a senior.
His senior year. Okay. So we'll be looking for him on Saturday for sure.
Yeah, he's going to be all over the place. Yeah.
All right, Tom, we have anything for Coach Corona, or you want to go right to Coach Craig Trzanski?
Just because it's back and forth and I'm not leaning over on him there. Coach, this obviously, you just heard Frank talk about this being the top rivalry in Western New York. There's no way that you've got to get your kids hyped for a game like this. There may be kind of the reverse that has to happen, where you got to keep things at bay a little bit because of the rivalry.
No, it's St. Joe's versus Canisius. As an alumnus of Canisius High School, it's important to me. It's important to our alumni. It's certainly important to our kids who are going to be alumnus of Canisius High School. So no, there's nothing to hold at bay. We know what it is. I will say that Coach Corona's done a hell of a job. Since I've been at Canisius, they are a very good football team right now. So Mike should take credit for that.
Absolutely, and that's I know probably Coach Corona definitely appreciates hearing that from you. Let's talk about what you got at your running back, because there are not many schools that can say not only do they have one running back that can do what you've got 2 running backs, and both of them are going to have the opportunity to play at the Division I level. Talk about how you're able to use these 2 running backs and how different they actually are on the field.
Yeah, they're good friends. They're different in a sense of what they might be able to do each. But I need to get them on the field together more, which I have not done this season. So that's a problem that I've had. But no, they complement each other. They're good friends. They care about each other. They like when each other has success. They celebrate each other's success. But Now we need to get Amir and Elijah both on the field at the same time, which we're going to try to do this week a little bit more, and we'll see how it goes.
So probably one of the areas that you lost a lot to graduation was your line for both sides of the ball, from the defensive line standpoint and the offensive line standpoint. Talk about how you've had to retool in those positions.
Yeah, certainly that's an advantage that I think Joe's will have this week. We have some young kids playing. But we have, we have 3 seniors that will start on the offensive line that I think can play. It's their time now. We always reflect and we always compare it to last year or the year before, but it's these kids' time now. They got to get better, right? In last year's team, whether it be us or St. Joe's, that game's over. Like, they don't play anymore. So it's time for our guys to figure it out. We're 1-2. We haven't played our best football yet, I don't believe. We played some good opponents, but. I know what you're saying, and certainly we had 3 Division I defensive linemen last year. That certainly helps the cause, right? But those guys aren't with us anymore, and so we can either lament that or coach our guys to get better, and that's what we have to do.
So who are some of the new names that we should be looking out for that replace that line?
Yeah, we have offensive line. We have a kid by the name of Brock Bildfeld, the left tackle. He's a big kid, 6'7", 310. He's a good football player, and our right tackle, Dylan Gorney, is 6'5", 305 pounds, so he's a good football player. And then Javez was a second-team All-Western New York kid. He plays guard, and our center's back from last year. We have our junior come up, Owen Scott, who's our other guard on offense. He's a 295-pound kid, and so, yeah, it's their turn now. We haven't played well in the last week and a half or so, just because the opponents have exposed our weaknesses. And so hopefully we can figure that out and coach them up this week. Defensively, Javez is a good football player, Javez Caldwell. And then we have we rotate 5 or 6 different guys in the other spots. And our linebackers are back. 3 of our 4 defensive backs are back. So we are okay. We need to continue to get better. And, there's something called the success syndrome, and kids start to think they're better than they really are. And we've had a little bit of that. And so we need to get back to it this week, which we have, and our kids are competing.
Coach, I have one question for you, and I'm going to ask a similar question for Coach Corona. For my money last year, I thought Jaden Clark was the best all-around football player in Western New York, and what he brought to the table defensively, offensively, I thought he was just the best player in Western New York. That's me saying it. He brought a ton of leadership to your team. Who is making up for that loss, in at least the leadership role? Like, who has stepped up in that locker room and taken this team by the horn, the bull by the horns, if you will?
I know what you're saying, Frank. I think you can be a great player and not necessarily a great leader. That's not what Jaden was a great leader, don't get me wrong. But he wasn't going to say much. He was just going to do things harder. And that led other kids to do it better. But we have guys who step up. I mean, Elijah stepped up, Kimball and Amir stepped up, and Javeza stepped up, and Arnold Mabayo stepped up, and a number of our seniors have stepped up. So I don't think leadership has been our issue. I mean, those kids care. We had a nice meeting in the locker room at halftime against Walsh last week. Our kids care, but caring and doing the right thing is 2 different things. I mean, we are burdened by, as a society, where kids want to change. They want to do things better. But if they don't, if you don't change, you don't change. But I think our leadership's fine. I don't think that's been an issue. Just we've made a lot of mistakes because we're young in some spots and we need to get better.
Thank you. Coach Corona, kind of the same question. I know Peyton Brock was a big part of your team last year. You had a couple, Guerrero and other guys. Who's filling that void as far as a voice or maybe leadership by example, like Coach K was saying about Jaden Clark?
I mean, we graduated 30 seniors last year, so it was a massive class. And those guys had come in as freshmen and kind of worked up.
Gio was probably one of the guys, too.
Yeah, we had 8 of those guys. 9 of those guys are playing college football right now. One's in Division I, 2 are going for free to Division II. That type of kid, you don't necessarily replace. You take a look at the guys who are maturing and give them the opportunity to try to find their way to lead. I don't believe in silent leaders. It's impossible to lead by example. I think you have to start with modeling the behavior that you want, and then you start with being okay with getting on other people. And they won't listen unless you're modeling that behavior in the first place. So those two components of leadership is something we hammer them with from freshman year all the way up to senior year. So long answer to your question, sorry. Owen Kaczynski is a junior captain. He's the first junior captain we've had, I think, in 3 or 4 years since Henry Murphy. We have our 2 inside linebackers, Stone and David, have done an incredible job. They're both, like I said, Ivy League recruits and high-level kids. And Eli Robinson, who's our punter last year, who's come on to be a great safety. Those guys have done a really good job of trying to fill a void of 30 seniors, and the young guys have responded to them, which is great.
Very good. Like I said, guys, for my money, this is probably the best rivalry in all West New York, maybe even New York State. Of course, we did do that CBA versus CBA game last year at the Dome. But I will take Joe's Canisius over that matchup any day of the week. And we get to see it on Saturday. And these two coaches are part of history on Saturday for another year. You guys are going to be, on separate sidelines, going against each other. And again, the most amazing game you can ask for. And it's just amazing that we're all a part of this and can see. I think this is the 101st, 102nd meeting.
Yeah, it's over 100. Yeah.
103.
103 meeting versus these two teams. So I can remember at least 12 of them. You played in this game, Craig.
I have 3 times.
Okay.
I was 1 and 2 as a player.
Okay. As a coach?
I couldn't tell you.
He doesn't want to tell us. It's all right.
I couldn't tell you.
We'll get the record books.
I really can't.
Tim Regren sent me all the stats and everything for this history. We'll have them on Saturday. Who's calling that game for us? You're on that game.
Yeah.
Who are you on with? Tanner?
I think it's Tanner. Yeah.
Tanner Saunders and Tom Prince will be on the call. We're going to bring the Marauders and the Crusaders in after a word from our sponsors. Again, thank you very much to Coach Mike Croner and Craig Krasinski for joining us here at Wingnuts. Buffalo by the airport. We'll be back after a word from our sponsors.
At Richmond Vona, we are seriously dedicated to bettering the communities that we serve. If you put your trust in us and hire us, we promise to take care of everything. Call us as soon as possible so we can start the investigation to fight to get you the settlement you deserve.
Why do you exercise? To look better? To feel better? To drop a few pounds? To train for an event? To defy age? Or to keep your ability to say yes to the things you love to do? Whatever motivates you, G&G Fitness Equipment is here to get you there. Treadmills, ellipticals, rowers, bikes, home gyms, and accessories. We'll pair you with the right equipment, teach you how to use it, and be there every step of your fitness journey. G&G Fitness. Your goal is our goal.
Wingnuts. You still got to go.
Have you guys tried Room 40 yet?
Looking for the perfect spot to throw your next party? Say hello to Room 40, our private event space at both Wingnuts locations. Maybe you got a birthday, a graduation, anniversary, business event, rehearsal dinner, or even a sports banquet. From intimate get-togethers to rowdy celebrations, Room 40 is built to handle it all and fits up to 60 guests. With custom food and drink packages, flexible setups, legendary Wingnuts hospitality, and all the wings you can handle. If you're planning a celebration or get-together in Buffalo, this is where the party's at. Local vibes, zero stress, all fun. Book Room 40 today and throw a party Buffalo won't forget. Hit the link in our bio or visit wingnutsbuffalo.com/room40 to book now.
All right, well,
I'll go if you go to Wingnuts.
Deal.
Western New York, I am back with 2 running back sensations here in Western New York. It is one of the 1-2 combos that we have not seen anything like. And I've got Elijah Kimball, Amir Hernandez right here. Guys, you really have been something to watch. It really has been something special. Talk about really what you've been through. I'm going to start right with you, Elijah. Talk about you've obviously getting a lot of recognition. You know that you're seeing it with all the offers that are coming your way. Talk about with you the growth that you've come. When did you realize, like, I'm going to be a big running back right here in Western New York? Like, when did you realize you can really do this and be on the big stage?
Coming in my freshman year, we had a great group of seniors. We had Tyrell, Keevon, guys like that, and they just helped me a lot my freshman year. They gave me the guidance that I needed. They gave me the confidence that I needed. And I realized I'd be a big back after week 5 when I had 5 touchdowns and like 270 yards my freshman year. I'm going to do something. So that's probably when I realized.
You got a fantastic coaching staff over there at Canisius. And from head coach to all your assistants that are out there, you've got some of them that are here with you today. I want you to talk about what this coaching staff has done for you.
Coaching staff means a lot. Even aside from football, just regular conversations at night, in the morning, before games, just bigger than football. They mean a lot. Coach K, Coach Woods, Coach Yancey, our athletic trainer. A lot. Especially my guy, Coach Woods.
You had to make sure you got that one. So let's talk about what you've accomplished. How many offers is it at right now that you have? 37 different Division I offers, folks, is where he's standing at right now. Is there one that's creeping up towards the top? I'm not asking you to make a decision, but are there ones that you're starting to see start to separate themselves?
Yes, there is.
And I won't put you on the spot. Don't worry about it. But let's now talk about this game that's about to come up. This is a big rivalry game. And you had a great game when you went out to St. Joe's last year. You've also had a great game against all the teams in Western New York. What has to happen for you to have another big game?
We just got to come out and play team football, be physical off the rip. Just go out there and do us. No selfish ball out there. Block for each other, play with heart and passion.
One last question I want to ask you is, you are a different runner sometimes when I say that, which is what makes you so good. You can either go and initiate and take on contact, or you can bust it to the outside and show how fast you really are. When do you know you've got to use one over the other style?
Depending where you're running at. If you're running inside, that would be mostly you taking on and initiating contact. But if you get to the outside, that's really just you using speed and making a play.
Give me one time you had to go up the middle, take on somebody you know you were about to hit, and won it.
It was a play my freshman year I watched a lot. We was actually playing St. Joe's. I think it was like 4th and 1. And I got the ball on a 43, and we just had to get into it, and I got the first down.
There you go. My other running back, there are many times we talked about this, Amir, that there are two of you be that explosive and to be able to get those offers. You were also sitting at multiple Division I offers right now yourself. Am I correct?
Yes, sir.
And it's, tell me how many of those offers are.
Right now it's only
2. Only 2? You know how many people would love only 2 offers right now?
It is a blessing. It is.
So let's talk about the difference that you guys are as far as styles runners. What do you think is your strength that's different than what we're talking about with Elijah?
Well, we really we complement each other really well. What he gets with power, I make up with speed. And what he gets with speed, I make up with power. It's just like we just go blow for blow.
And you've really seen that because you don't skip a beat when something happens inside of a game right there. When you knew that you had 2 running backs, how did that do anything to your psyche? Because a lot of people want to be the main guy, be the only guy. And you know it at just about any school, you would be that guy. So talk about what it's been to be able to share the backfield.
It's really a blessing. Me and him are good friends, so it's just fun playing out there with each other, just going, seeing what each other can do, and just each play by play, just going, giving it our all.
So you heard Coach talk about in the interview that the first couple games have been very good challenges for you guys. You learned a lot about the team inside the first couple games. What do you think needs to change, or what do you think needs to get better to be able to go after a victory here on this weekend?
Well, nothing really changes. It's just like we played a few powerhouses in Ohio, so we just come back, show them what Canisius football is really about. Just come back, show them that we still are who we are.
What do you consider right now the biggest strength of the Canisius team?
Smash mouth football, running the ball, for sure.
And that's another Dick Gallagher quote that just came in there, right? Because he used to bring that to us all the time, talk about this. But right now, it's calm. Once you put on that uniform on Saturday, something's got to happen on the field for a victory. If the score comes and you guys win, what happened to make that happen?
Everybody playing together, unselfish ball, being there for each other the whole game, and just giving it our all every play, 100%.
So I asked Elijah the question, what's the one that you remembered that he had to take on somebody bigger and he ran through and won the war? Now I'm going to ask you the opposite question. Tell me the bad one where you showed your speed out on the field, and it was the speed that separated you from everybody.
I remember it last year. It was the championship game in Joe's. We were in a wildcat formation. It was a 47 sweep. It was just me. Eli's right next to me. He hit the block. He blocked the corner. After that, it was off to the races. Ran out.
There you go. My last question I got for you is, you heard Coach say that he has to get you two out on the field together out there a lot more than what he's seen so far. What happens with you two on the field together? How does that change the dynamics of a game?
Man, with us together, it's really like they can't really just guess on who's getting the ball. It's like they have to just play it everywhere, space everything out. They can't just load one side. They have to play both. It opens up the whole field for a lot.
You guys heard this. Big game. Wish you guys nothing but success. We do got to do a blindfold challenge right now, though. I got to do it with each of you here. So which one of you guys want to go first? Okay, he's giving it to you to go first. So I need the blindfold on. You know what I'm going to do? That one?
Lemon pepper.
Close, but it was the garlic parm is what it was. But that was close because lemon pepper was one of the choices. There you go. Can you want me to take that off for you? You got it. There you go. Okay. Same thing. I'm going to let you pick his out on this one. All right. Well, look down here. Which one you want? All right. You got yours right in front. Yeah, it's a drum.
Oh.
Close. It was medium. But guys, you need me to help take that off? You got it. You're welcome. Hey, listen, this one's going to be a fantastic one, folks. If you're going to be around Saturday, you got to get to this game. If not, you've got to tune into Western New York Athletics. Like you heard Frank Wolf say earlier in this one, this is the top rivalry in Western New York. This is going to be something to watch. These two teams are ready to take each other on. Two of the top teams also ranked in Western New York. I can't wait to see this one. But we'll be back shortly as Frank's going to get a chance to talk to St. Joe's.
At Richmond Vona, we are seriously dedicated to bettering the communities that we serve. If you put your trust in us and hire us, we promise to take care of everything. Call us as soon as possible so we can start the investigation to fight to get you the settlement you deserve.
Why do you exercise? To look better? To feel better? To drop a few pounds? To train for an event? To defy age? Or to keep your ability to say yes to the things you love to do? Whatever motivates you, G&G Fitness Equipment is here to get you there. Treadmills, ellipticals, rowers, bikes, home gyms, and accessories. We'll pair you with the right equipment, teach you how to use it, and be there every step of your fitness journey. G&G Fitness. Your goal is our goal.
Wing nuts. You still got to go.
Have you guys tried Room 40 yet?
Looking for the perfect spot to throw your next party? Say hello to Room 40, our private event space at both Wingnuts locations. Maybe you got a birthday, a graduation, anniversary, business event, rehearsal dinner, or even a sports banquet. From intimate get-togethers to rowdy celebrations, Room 40 is built to handle it all and fits up to 60 guests. With custom food and drink packages, flexible setups, legendary Wingnuts hospitality, and all the wings you can handle. If you're planning a celebration or get-together in Buffalo, this is where the party's at. Local vibes, zero stress, all fun. Book Room 40 today and throw a party Buffalo won't forget. Hit the link in our bio or visit wingnutsbuffalo.com/room40 to book now.
All right, well,
I'll go if you go to Wingnuts.
Deal.
Welcome back to Western New York High School Football Weekly here at Wingnuts, the airport location in Buffalo. This is the only high school football show in New York State, the only one. We do this every single week, every Wednesday, 7 to 9, sometimes in the studio, sometimes at Ale House, sometimes at Wingnuts. Who knows where we're going to be. Ale House next week, though, 7 to 9 if you want to come out to Ale House next week. That's where the show will be. Joe Krause will be sitting in for me. I will be on an assignment somewhere else. And it'll be Joe. You're stuck with Joe Krause and Tom Prince next week. Either way, it's Joe's Canisius week. You just heard from Elijah Kimball and Amir Hernandez, two of the star running backs in Western New York, not just at Canisius, in Western New York, maybe even New York State. Now I've got two guys from St. Joe's. I've got Damone Harden Jr., and I've got Owen Kaczynski to my left, both juniors. Outside linebacker, Owen, you do a little bit of everything. 1-1 this year so far. You had the big game against Cardinal Hayes. You had to drive out. What was that, about a 6-hour drive for you guys? 5-hour drive?
5-hour, 6-hour drive, yeah.
What did you do on the bus ride on the way out there? What were you doing?
We all are kind of bonding, you know. At first, like on our way, like first couple hours, we're all quiet, but I mean the ride got kind of boring. We all started talking to each other, bonding up. That's about it.
It is a boring ride going all the way out to Albany. How about yourself, Demo? How did you keep yourself busy? Is it exactly how you described it?
I don't think so. I think we played a lot of games with the team, and it's pretty fun. To me, at least, it was pretty fun on the bus ride.
Owen, he's calling you out. He didn't mean to, but he is. I don't know, maybe we just got to lighten Owen up a little bit. Owen's got to loosen up? Okay. We're going to loosen Owen up a little bit. Owen, last year you had a big touchdown against Canisius. Would you say that was maybe your coming out party, or are you still waiting for that?
I think my coming out party was week 2 against Jamestown. I think that's where I really made a name for myself. I feel like last year,
Week 2 this year or last year?
This year. I feel like last year, you know, I started both ways, but I was there. You know, I felt like I did more at defensive back than I really did receiver. So I think week 2 this year, I really that was my coming out party.
Your second year on varsity, what have you learned after 1 year, and how much has that experience helped you get for your junior season?
You know, it's helped me a lot. I think like the seniors from last year passed down a lot of knowledge to me and a lot of knowledge to this team. I found out like it's way more physical than what I played before, so it took me kind of like a year to get used to that, but now I think I'm used to it and I think I'm ready.
For those that don't really know you, you're obviously at a private school. Where would you be playing if you were not at St. Joe's?
I'll be going to Clarence.
And Damone, the same question for you. If you weren't at St. Joe's, where would you be playing ball?
Lockport, New York.
Whoa, they could use you. They could use you. Ooh, saw them last week. Last week, though, against Jamestown, you guys put on quite a show. I know last year you guys beat them at Jamestown in their place. They had to come back up, and they had the big running game. So you already faced one of the top running backs in Western New York. Now you're going to get 2 in the same game. You did okay with Bonta last week, but now you got 2 of the premier running backs in New York. How do you attack them?
I think we know how good they are, and I think we know what they can do. I feel like we know they're going to make some big plays. I think we got to limit the big plays they have and contain them as much as we could for our success.
Well, basically the same question. And who else can you talk about on the defensive side of the ball for St. Joe's that may be helping you along?
Both of our inside linebackers, like Coach Corona was talking about, Stone and David, they're big help in making tackles. Our safeties, they come down and they make tackles really well. Jackson Dia, Eli, Robinson, Deion Cheatham, and our corners too. Our corners can cover and can tackle, which is a big help to our defense.
Just talk about how the team has kind of gotten better from the offseason, from last year, how things ended, to this year. Like, how much better would you say your team is a year from, or from year to year?
So we lost a lot of seniors, especially on our offense and defense that played both ways. So, coach, we got a lot of transfers, and our offense got much better compared to last year, I think so. We have a lot of players that can play make and can score touchdowns. And our defense is just as good as it was last year, even though we lost a lot of seniors.
Oh, and basically the same question for you. How much better do you think your team has progressed since last year?
I think we progressed a lot. I think we got a lot stronger in the weight room, a lot more. We condition every single day, still very hard. And I think just being able to have two quarterbacks that, knowing whenever they're in the game, they're a threat to any team, and our run game is strongest it's ever been. So I think we're in a great spot.
All right, guys, it's a moment of truth. I'm not going to put you on the spot and predict a win at all. I don't want to do that to you guys. But I would like you to put the headbands on, and I'm going to put a couple wings on your plate, and you guys can go at the same time, unless you guys want to. How would you want to do it?
We go at the same time.
All right, they're going to go at the same time. St. Joe's Marauders are going to take the chicken wing challenge. And, well, hang on a second. Before you cover up, just take a look at all the different kind of wings there are to choose from, just so you don't, because I got a whole nother plate here of, I got a whole nother flight of wings. Maybe I'll get in on this. But anyways, you guys take a look at the kind of wings, and then you'll have to figure out what I'm going to give you once you guys put the blindfolds on. They're ready for this. No, I can't do it. I don't have a blindfold. All right, so we're going to pick a wing out first for Damone. Let me see what I got. I'm going to go with this one here. Flat. I'm not sure which one that is yet. I suck at this. It's on the plate. Yep, there you go. All right, you get in on that one, and then let me get this one for Owen Kaczynski. It's on your plate. Enjoy that. Yeah, why don't you guys dig into those? We're going to see what they got here. And just so you guys know, I have no idea what wings I gave you. I told you I'm terrible at this. But we're going to be guessing. I think I know what. You may need another bite. You may need 3 bites before you can get this. Owen, any idea what you just bit into?
I think that's honey garlic.
Might be right. Damone, what do you think you're chopping on?
Is this lemon pepper?
Yes. I think. All right, you guys can take the blindfolds off. You can definitely finish those wings and take these flights back to your table. We're going to finish this show in just a little bit. Tom and I are going to go through all the different games of the weekend that are coming up, especially the ones that we're doing on Western York Athletics. The one I'm looking forward to, I've been looking forward to a long time, is St. Joe's Canisius Saturday at Stransky Field. Beautiful complex. If you're not doing anything Saturday, you get a chance, get out to West Seneca and see that game. If you can't get to that game, it'll be on Western York Athletics, our YouTube page. We're streaming it. They got, like I said, they got a great facility there, and their AD makes us feel right at home. So thank you very much for inviting us out to do that game for you guys. You'll be on WNY Athletics. You're going to see us after a word from our sponsors back here at Western York High School Football Weekly.
Why do you exercise? To look better? To feel better? To drop a few pounds? To train for an event? To defy age? Or to keep your ability to say yes to the things you love to do? Whatever motivates you, G&G Fitness Equipment is here to get you there. Treadmills, ellipticals, rowers, bikes, home gyms, and accessories. We'll pair you with the right equipment, teach you how to use it, and be there every step of your fitness journey. G&G Fitness. Your goal is our goal.
At Richmond Vona, we are seriously dedicated to bettering the communities that we serve. You will get super high level communication, and you are getting a team of dedicated attorneys, paralegals. If you put your trust in us and hire us, we promise to take care of everything. Call us as soon as possible so we can start the investigation to fight to get you the settlement you deserve.
Welcome back to Western New York High School Football Weekly. And Tom, it was a pretty fun start to the show with the kids from Iroquois. We had the quarterback from Eden North Collins, and then we just had St. Joseph and Canisius on. It's always fun talking to those kids, and they're part of the biggest rivalry basically in Western New York. Definitely gets the most coverage.
I mean, we've got some great ones, but you're absolutely right. This one always stands out as, if not one of the best, the best.
Yeah. But there's a lot of other good games that we need to talk about that are happening this week. Might as well start with Thursday's game. Pioneer Cheektowaga all of a sudden became a pretty big game because Cheektowaga won 2 games. And last week was a pretty good win for them over a Lakeshore team. It was a Thursday night game. Obviously the Bills were playing, so maybe not a lot of people were paying attention to that one, but I sure was because Cheektowaga, they won 2 weeks ago, and then they just beat a Lakeshore team that was desperate for a win. Hats off to Coach Musatelli out there of Cheektowaga and the Chargers doing a very good job. And now they get Pioneer, who's got Isaac Platt back. Now they lost their first game, and then right?
No,
I'm sorry, right? They barely got by Lackawanna.
Absolutely.
Then they lose week 2.
Yep.
And now
Will
South.
Yep.
And now week 3, they get a win over Star Point. Nice win for them. Hard-hitting game.
Absolutely.
Isaac Platt finally gets back in the lineup, back on the field, and now they get a Cheektowaga team.
Over 150 yards rushing he goes for, and that's the difference right there. But that you get for Pioneer. Now they get their run game back.
So it'll be interesting to see if Cheektowaga can keep the momentum going. And Pioneer, they need to keep on beating these teams in Class B if they're going to have any chance to get into the playoffs and then work their way to potentially Highmark.
Absolutely. And when you look at this Pioneer game, even that Lackawanna game, remember, no Platt in that game, and then their next running back goes down in the game. So they already were going to, and I'm not going to say there was 1, 2, 3, that's not how they're listed, but you lost 2 main running backs, period, that you knew going into that Will South game it was going to be something where you were just fighting to get healthy. I'll tell you, and I said it before, this Pioneer team, once they get healthy, becomes very, very dangerous.
Next game I want to talk about, Will East at McKinley. That's a Thursday night game, too. Is that on TV? That is a Thursday night WNYO game? Yeah, that's right. Joe Kraus will be doing that game. Is that Riverside, too? All right, so it's a tough turf there. It's going to be a hard-hitting game. McKinley has been on.
Did they do upgrades over there, though? They did upgrades
Maybe,
to a lot of stuff over there. I know
don't
that's
think
why
they
they
touched
hadn't
the
had any
field.
games there yet.
I don't think they touched the field, though.
Okay.
To my understanding, anyways. Correct me if I'm wrong on YouTube or Twitter out there. Make a comment if you can. Either way, Will East has been playing very good football.
Absolutely.
This is a real big test for them to see how they can come out and perform against a team that's got a quarterback that can run the ball, that can throw the ball. You got some defensive players that can just make plays. Obviously, the Staples kid is fantastic.
Ford, Staples,
Yeah.
all these guys,
Yeah.
they're going to stand out in this one. And we know that line is a good line over at McKinley as well.
Yeah. So I don't know who comes out on top of that one. Obviously, people are going to think McKinley's onto something special here, but Will East will show up tomorrow night and play a good game. I have no doubt about that. I think they got something for McKinley. I don't know if it's we'll have to wait and see. I got to see how they play. I think there's some inexperience there maybe with Will East. McKinley, I mean, those guys are still reeling from last season. So,
McKinley?
Will East.
Oh,
I'm
Will
sorry,
East.
yes,
Oh,
McKinley
okay.
still reeling from last season the way things ended. I thought they were going to go further than they did. And I think there's some of those guys that got that chip on their shoulder that want to prove that, hey, we belong here and we can win this section.
Well, they made it to the stadium last
They did,
year,
but
right?
they thought they didn't play well there.
Right, absolutely, but they knew they were going against the Great House Sciences team at that time, right? Was Health Science in
No,
McKinley, was
no,
it?
Sweet Home.
Sweet Home. I apologize. I keep thinking, I forgot that there was the
course.
B versus the A thing. I apologize. That's on me. But you're absolutely right. But Sweet Home, if you remember, had one of the most electrifying quarterbacks in Western New York last year in Rocco Penapento, and now they're getting a chance to see it because guess what? They've got the quarterback with that type of experience now coming back and learning from that. This team's ready to go. I'm telling you, they brought Lancaster to the brink right there. There are not many teams in Western New York that could say you took Lancaster to the brink, and they did that in game one.
And Brian Davis is a Williamsville kid, played at Williamsville North, and now he gets to go up against Williamsville East. Friday night, it's a game you'll see on, are we putting this on NFHS or WNY Athletics? The Friday night game. Eden, North Collins. Do we know that one? It's on WNY Athletics, so you're going to see a pretty good one here. Eden, North Collins, we just had Brady Waring in studio, or in the restaurant. Taking on Barker Royhart team, who got a big win against Medina last week. And again, Barker Royhart, the Bulls, a little bit of Jekyll and Hyde there. Maybe they're better.
29 points all in one quarter.
Yes, 5 turnovers.
Mm-hmm.
But they allowed Medina back into the game. We're able to close it out when it mattered, but allow Medina back into that game. They can't afford to really get too far behind against Eden North Collins. I think that game there, they're going to want to try and keep that offense off the field best they can, for obvious reasons. But if I'm Barker Royhart, I really, really want to keep that as close as I can and not have to play from the 2 scores or more. You know, that's not their game. And Eden, we know they can score points in bunches.
And I don't know if that's anybody's game to be able to come back from a score like that. But no doubt, this is one where you've got to be able to control that line of scrimmage. And you're going to need to force Eden to run the ball. And you heard right now when we talked to Brady, one of the things he said was the one thing we've got to get better at is on the defensive side of the ball. So when you have the ball, you've got to make sure you're doing something with it or controlling that clock. Keeping Eden off the field is what you're going to have to do if you're Recipe right there. And if you're Eden, keep doing what you're doing because you're putting up some major points and you've got athletes all over the place on the offensive side of the ball.
That they do. The other game that was of interest to me Friday night is Clarence at Bennett. Now, Clarence is coming off a big loss to West Seneca West. I thought that was going to be, the lines were just going to be awesome. The score was 21-14, so it's not like anyone got blown out here. But Bennett has a line, too. They've got a massive line, and that's going to be a huge test for Clarence. Obviously, it's a non-leaguer. It's not going to kill them one way or the other if they don't beat Bennett, and Bennett is not going to kill them if they lose to Clarence.
No.
But we haven't seen Bennett really just yet. You know, they've been out of town. You know, they haven't really played. I mean, Hutch Tech, come on.
They played Niagara Falls week 1.
Well, yes. They played Niagara Falls week 1, but Hutch Tech, nobody's surprised Bennett beat Hutch Tech by 60 points. No. Nobody is surprised by that.
Correct.
I'm going to be surprised if they have that kind of success against the Clarence team. We'll have to wait and see. I think it's a big test for both.
Agreed.
So we'll have to wait and see how that one plays out. I've got my eyes on that one. Jimmy Valentine's playing great, but that Bennett line is tough. Clarence going to have their hands full.
And they got running backs all over the place still. They got speed all over the place still. And guess what? Coach, loves the fact that nobody's talking about them right now, that nobody's giving them the love that they really get. Bennett's feeding off that. They're waiting to come onto the big stage to do some things.
Well, it's just because we haven't really seen them yet.
That's
it's
it.
Definitely not a slight at them.
Oh, no, I don't mean it's a slight, but listen, we don't mean anything to be a slight.
No.
But that doesn't mean coaches aren't going to use things that we say or not say to be able to hype up their own teams.
For sure. Star Point at South Park. Now, maybe a lot of people don't have this on their radar, but those are 2 teams that need wins right now.
Big time, especially if you're looking to make the playoffs.
Keep your eye on that one. Star Point, I think, they had a real physical game with Pioneer. Couldn't get that win there. South Park having a little bit of trouble right now. We'll see if they can't get back on track. Young team, pretty good quarterback. I'm sure Delaney will have those guys ready, and that's always a pretty good game, Star Point at South Park. So that'll be a good one Friday night. Sweet Home at West Seneca West. I mean, West Seneca West is playing out of their minds right now. Plenty of reasons why. Sweet Home needs a win. They need a win. Are they at 1-2 or are they 2-1 right now?
I think they're 2-1, aren't they? Yeah, they're
2-1. But that's, again, take a look at their schedule of who they played and things of that nature. This is a big test for them. Sweet Home, it's A1 versus A2 matchup. Is it A1 or no, I'm sorry, both A and A1. Sweet Home at 2-1, and West Seneca West leading the Division 3-0 there. So this is a little bit of West Seneca West kind of starting to assert themselves as the top team in A, at least A1, and Sweet Home was the team last year. So interesting matchup here.
And if Anderson keeps getting more and more confidence week after week after week and keep learning the way he is, that's going to make this team as a run to the playoffs become very, very dangerous.
Heard they're down a lineman. Might have been missing a lineman last week, but they still handled their business.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know much about the kid who's out. I didn't get a name, but I heard they were without a lineman. So we'll have to see how they come back. Yeah, Sweet Home, first week, Niagara Wheatfield, 14-12. Niagara Wheatfield is 50-50 team, I think, right now. Somewhere in there.
An improving team. You got to remember, this was a team that was at the bottom of their conference. This is an improving team, getting better and better as we know a coach right there trying to really rebuild that culture.
And Clarence handled Sweet Home seemed 2 touchdown win there. Frontier, they only won 21-0. That's a bad Frontier team right now. Frontier's got to start figuring things out. They got to get better. They got to start really digging their heels in there, Tom. So this is an interesting matchup. Sweet Home, West Seneca West, in a real big test to see where Sweet Home is right now. Are they still among the top teams in A? I have a feeling that they are. We'll have to wait and see. We'll know this time next week. We'll know for sure. On Friday night is when they play. That game it's at West Seneca West. I don't know how you'll see that one. Obviously, you could probably go to the huddle camera for West Seneca. They have a real nice huddle camera there. Maryville at Depew.
I mean, obviously, we've talked about this, Maryville, with some key injuries in this one, and you can see them trying to get this team to kind of come back together right here. Depew, a couple of big victories themselves right now. This is a game that I really believe both of these teams need inside there to be able to make the playoff run, because both of them have losses here, so you can't afford that second loss right now.
Depew's 3 games have been all league contests so far. Maryville's only had 2 league contests or 1-1. So, to keep pace, because when we talk about only 4 teams from B in either division are going to get into the playoffs. So Maryville, with Lackawanna at 2-0 in the division, Iroquois 2-0, and Olean's 1-1, but they're still pretty tough. And who knows what else you got in that division. So Maryville, you think they're going to coast to the playoffs, but it's going to come down to the wire, especially if Maryville gets things going. I know they got a big loss there at the wide receiver position, but Olean is not out of it by any stretch, even though they did lose to Depew last week. That was a tight game, only 2-point loss. Newfane at Randolph, Class D, battle of undefeated there, both 3-0. Randolph, can they stop the Capon kid? That's going to be the big question mark there. Not too many have been successful in that. Randolph is 3-0. Maybe that 3-0 is a little misleading with who they've played. But at the end of the day, they're 3-0, and no one really cares how they got there. They haven't been beaten yet until they are who they are. So
this
big
game could tell us about the whole D division, right? It really could tell us about this division and where each of these teams are. It should tell us where Wilson falls into this perspective. It'll also tell us about where Gowanda is, even with a big loss to Wilson. I really believe this one game could really shape that entire division.
Could tell you how far away some of these teams are.
Yep, that's exactly what I mean by that. Yep.
St. Joe's Canisius, which we talked about, Tom. I think this game's going to be even closer than last year. I think that has a lot to do with the amount of talent both teams have given up and experience and leadership to some degree. I think it's going to be a great game. It's going to come down to the 4th quarter.
So there's one thing that Coach Corona said that really still stands out to me. And again, you heard it from Coach Krasinski. When's the last time we heard about an entire line average 295 to 300 pounds?
That can move that well?
We haven't. In fact, the last time we probably heard that type of lines is when Orchard Park was going for some of those state championship runs. That may be the last time we've heard about a whole line. Not 1 or 2 players, the entire line averaging that way.
Jamestown, a few years ago with Butera, they had 2 kids went right to play in the same college team. They had, I think not at 295.
Right, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I mean.
Not at 295.
We haven't heard that for that long.
Okay.
And
they had a tremendous line that year, and then James and Bennett.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know.
I mean, listen.
Yeah.
But what I was saying was, I'm not
Sheer
saying
size?
we haven't had great lines. I'm not saying that. We absolutely have. I'm just talking about the size of the lines that you heard averaging clear across the way 300 pounds. You haven't heard that in a long time.
No. And Pioneers had some heavy ones too.
But it wasn't 300 pounds.
No.
These were guys that knew how to move the
Yes.
ball, use their hands well. It's what I'm saying. I'm not saying there wasn't great lines since then. We absolutely have seen that. But just the sheer size of that. And then you listen to Coach Krasinski. He named 3 guys that were over 300 pounds on his line, including a 6'7". So this is really going to be something because you talk about, and I say it in every game, you know, and I know I say it ad nauseum, but to win or lose a game, it's going to happen in the trenches, and that's where this game's going to be played, especially to run the ball like these both teams want to do.
Yes. Saturday, it's a bit of a homecoming for Ty Harper as he finds his way back to CSP, Chautauqua Lake. They're undefeated. CSP playing pretty good ball. They had a heartbreaker last week at Salamanca.
Yeah, 1 loss.
They're playing very well. Bit of a homecoming, obviously, for all, you know, I hope they roll out the red carpet for him.
So do I.
So I can't get down to that one, but if you're heading out, that'd probably be a game on a Saturday. If I can't get to the St. Joe's Canisius, that'd be one game I'd like to go see. The other one, Jamestown at Orchard Park. Now, I don't think it's going to be a runaway for Jamestown.
No.
I think Orchard Park is in position to make some more noise in AA.
Agreed.
But it has to start Saturday. Like
Agreed.
they did very well with Lancaster, even though they didn't win the game. I thought they showed something and maybe showed themselves that we do belong.
Absolutely.
And I think they've got a chance if they can keep. You know what you're going to get with Bonton. It's kind of like one of the kids said earlier from St. Joe's. We know what they can bring to the table. We have to limit the big plays. For Jamestown, yeah, Bonta's been doing the job running the ball, but it's been Thagard and then the freshman, those guys have made spectacular plays, special teams and else. If they can limit the big plays, Orchard Park, if they can limit Jamestown's big plays, they got a shot to maybe sneaking a win there. I'm not betting against them, I'll tell you that.
I said to you last week that, remember, I plan on Orchard Park being a part of this after watching that Lancaster game. There's no doubt this should be a great one. But you've got 2 running backs that are going to go head-to-head with each other. Yeah. So this will all, again, be about the line play and who's going to be able to stop the run and force the quarterbacks to go to the air. That's exactly what this game is going to be. It's both teams coming in with the same mentality and the same goal that needs to happen for you to go get a victory.
Make the quarterback beat you.
Yep.
All right. Moving on here, Tom. Another game is this Iroquois at Lackawanna game. It's at Lackawanna. It's a Saturday. Iroquois likes to play those Friday night games, some Thursday night games. Here they are playing a Saturday. I don't think it makes any difference. I think that aerial attack that they have could spread out that defense a little bit that Lackawanna has, and maybe they beat them with speed and quickness if they win the game.
Yeah.
I'm saying they're going to have to use that speed and quickness, but I still think Lackawanna is still feeling themselves out and trying to get them back in a position where they were last year. Like, listen, they thought they had this great running back coming back, and he didn't. You know, and they kind of found out later than maybe they wanted to. And that's a shock. Look, man, if you're on that team in that locker room and you've got this kid who's arguably one of the best running backs in West New York, just, you know, move on to greener pastures, if you will. That sends shockwaves through the locker room. And I'm sure they were upset, happy for the kid, but upset that, you know, with you here, we have a legit shot of finally getting to high mark. Without you here, now we all got to step up. We got to even step up our game even more than we planned on doing. So.
Still has speed.
They still
has a very good line.
Yep.
They only lost Sammy from last year on that line. That's all it really was. So they've got a line that's come back to be able to give their running game time to be able to do and holes to open up. In the past, okay, and not necessarily we want to go there, but in the past, the one area that Lackawanna has struggled in has been from the pass, especially when there's been an effective quarterback on the other side of the field. So you've got to stop that play. And then flip it with Iroquois. Justice has got to get enough time to be able to make those passes. So those will be the adjustments that we're going to see by both inside the game to see how they adjust to be able to get a victory.
St. Francis goes to Cathedral Prep, plays another out-of-state team.
But they've had some dandies.
Yes,
they really have had some fun games so far.
So I can't. That's a Saturday game, by the way, I believe. So interesting. And if you want to take the drive down to Cathedral Prep, it's a great school to watch a game. And St. Francis, I'm looking forward to seeing how they do. I think they can beat Cathedral Prep. I really do. I didn't give them much chance against Memorial. I hate to say it, but there's Catholic Memorial, and then there's other teams. And
second team in Massachusetts,
exactly,
top 100 team in New York, in the country. Listen, we knew that they were, they were going to be something big.
I didn't ask you this. I wanted to ask you, what did that sideline look like? Did they have like 80 kids on the sideline?
No,
or how many did
it
they
didn't
look
look much different.
Okay.
I got to be honest.
A lot
with you.
different than last year when we saw their sideline.
Yeah, this wasn't as much as it was in the last sideline.
They didn't bring everybody.
No, they may not have, or whatever it may be. But I'll tell you, they faced a team in Cathedral Prep. Sorry, just thinking about Cathedral Prep and Catholic Memorial. There are very rare times that you see this. The quarterback is off to Harvard. He's got a Harvard acceptance there.
Oh.
The backup quarterback, who is a sophomore and hasn't even seen the quarterback field yet, has already got an offer to Boston College in that one. So what does that tell you of how good this team is when your quarterback and backup have already got full offers?
When we come back, we're going to get into our rankings and a few other things. You want us to keep going? Yeah. Okay. Okay. You got the rankings? Why don't you bring the rankings up there? Why don't you bring up, well, are they side by side or no? Side by side. Are they? Yeah. All right. Let's see here. All right. Are these the large or small? I can't see it, unfortunately. What do you want? Bring up our large? Yeah. Larger up. You got the large up. Okay, so I can't see Tom's. But I have Canisius, Franny's, Joe's, Jamestown, Bennett, Health, Lancaster, McKinley, West Seneca West, and Will East. Okay, I got you. And then for honorable mentions, I got, I'm tipping my hat to Clarence, Grand Island, Lockport, Sweet Home, and Bishop Timon. They're considered a large school. And we're not too far off. You got Franny's one after seeing them in Canisius too. I'm leaving Canisius where they are until either they lose, like if they.
So I'm going to challenge you on the small polls with that same thought process.
Okay.
You're going to say.
Okay. I'm going to leave Canisius there because I think they have the best running back tandem in Western New York.
I got it.
Potentially the state. We got Joe's in the same spot. You got Bennett up. You got Bennett up there in health, and I don't think you can really argue with the top 10. Niagara Falls, I do want to see another big win out of or something like that before I throw them in there. That's why I got Will East up there. And
I struggle with both of those. I got to be honest with you. I did struggle between the Niagara Falls and the Will East one. I almost put a slash there and made it 10A, 10B.
I apologize for not having Niagara Falls in my honorable mention. You're 100% absolutely in my honorable mention. I just must have forgot to put that in there. So I fat-fingered it. My problem. My fault there, so I apologize. Those are our large school rankings. And Francis is supposed to have rankings on Friday night during his Empire State End Zone show. So we'll have Francis's rankings up there. You'll see those. Someone's trying to take those wings away over there. Are you taking those wings away from us? I'm not done yet. No, I ordered these. Okay. Oh, you did? Yeah. All right. I just don't want all my wings. I might want to bite into a couple wings. No, these aren't yours. All right. I just want. Someone was trying to take the wings away.
Right,
I know, but I see someone taking wings away. I get a little, scared. All right. Our small school rankings now coming up. So I got Southwestern, West Seneca East, Chautauqua Lake. Then I got Salamanca, Will South, and Lackawanna, followed by Eden, North Collins, Iroquois, Newfane. Wilson cracks the top 10 after last week's huge win. And then I've gotten the honorable mentions: Western New York Maritime, Tapestry, CSP, Pioneer, Gowanda, Pine Valley, South Park, Olean, Depew, Maryville, Medina, and Randolph. And Tommy, you got Salamanca up there, and I know why. Maybe did that have a lot to do with the win last week too, or just
That's one thing, but you've also said the same exact thing. This is the defending champion right now for this division.
Yep. So Southwestern and Chautauqua Lake, we're going to see them in 2 weeks. By the way, that'll be
fun
on
one, man.
That'll be on WNY Athletics. I went down to Chautauqua Lake yesterday. Didn't get to talk to anybody, but that's because we were in a hurry. No disrespect to anybody at C-Web down there, but we scoped it out. We're gonna attempt to do the game down there on Friday night. You got West Seneca Easton at 4, followed by Lackawanna, Iroquois, Newfane, Will South, Pioneer, Eden, North Collins, and then you got some honorable mentions there.
And CSP should be in my honorable mention. That's my fault. I did the same thing you did on the large one.
Okay. So respectable list. Teams are kind of in the same, not in the same spot, but a lot of the same teams. I don't have Pioneer in mind just yet. Maybe I think because of the first couple of weeks without Platt, I thought they were.
Well, with Lackawanna up there,
Yeah.
right, is why I felt that they needed to be on that list with a win
Makes
over
sense.
Lackawanna.
Makes sense.
And then, obviously, Will South with a win over Pioneer, I felt that Will South had to be up there over Pioneer, but felt that they needed to be now that they are got everybody back.
Yeah.
Because that Lackawanna game still, without having everybody there, was a big victory.
For sure. So those are our rankings, large and small school. What about the state rankings? You got the state rankings, Tim, you could put up there. The state rankings were released this past week. Sorry, this past Wednesday. Sometime today they were out there. They were published. But the state rankings, you saw some movement in there. I think CSP finally got in as an honorable mention. I thought they should have been an honorable mention last week. And they were definitely submitted as such, but for some reason they weren't in there. But they are this week. And Southwestern Frewsburg's up there, Salamanca's up there in respective classes. I think Canisius is their top-ranked team. Franny's is then next, and then Joe's, and you got, who else in there? Jamestown and Bennett. So the New York State Sports Writers, the rankings are on your screen there. If you want to do a screenshot and look that up later, you can see all the teams from New York State and how they're, or Western New York, and see how they're ranked among the state other teams. Some of those teams that are up there, we may see at the stadium later this year. Shenango Forks, they got up there.
They're always up there.
They're always up
That's
there,
the team you know you're going to have to go through if you think you're going to get a state championship.
So those are the state rankings. We don't have any 8-man teams, although we may have a couple 8-man teams next year, the way things are going. Don't forget the Trenton's Trophy is out there. We're looking for nominees each week. Send your results in. Same thing with the Conley Cup. They're doing a great job. The Conley Cup has if you go to their Facebook page, they got an auction item up that you can bid on. Shout out to all the guys at the Western New York Weekly Football Report, Leon and those guys. Tyler continue doing a great job. I got to see where they are this week. Francis' show is killing it too.
I love what those
two are
two
doing a
are
great
doing.
job. Empire State End Zone Report. And of course, the only show in New York State that devotes a couple hours a week to high school football is us. So thank you for continuing to do this with us. Next week, you guys are at the L House. It's you and Joe Kraus.
What I heard you say.
Are you going to order him some suicide wings and put a blindfold on?
If that's what I'm told, I got to just do what the boss says. So
I wouldn't do that to Joe. Maybe some mild wings. Maybe I'll sneak a medium in there. Barbecue. We don't get too crazy with Joe. We love him. But Joe will be on the air tomorrow. Thursday night game. Joe for WNYO. So, oh, he's not. He wasn't doing the Willie's game. Joe should be doing that game. But anyways, he'll be doing the game soon. Anyways, thank you for watching another great edition of Western New York High School Football Weekly. Thank you for Wingnuts, airport location in Buffalo, the best wings for my money. It's right here at Wingnuts. I'm going to have one as soon as we go off here. I'm going to probably have 2.
I don't care, but the way they treated us here. I mean, they gave us a room. The food has been phenomenal. The players loved it. I'll tell you, class act, please come down and support them because they are really supporting each and every one of you out here.
Thank you very much to Wingnuts airport location in Buffalo. And thank you to all you for watching tonight. We appreciate you. And we'll see you at the field soon for Tim Gardner, Heidi Gunther, Mario Hall, and Tom Prince. I'm Frank Wolf. See you next week. I'll see you in 2 weeks, but you'll see these guys next week on Western New York High School Football Weekly.